So it might have crossed your mind, this question. Do narcissists really know what they are doing? Do narcissists know that they are narcissists? And there's a lot to unpack in this. It's not a simple yes or no answer. What I would say is some of them do, and they don't care, and they love the fact that they are narcissistic. And then there's some that really don't have a clue and don't understand, but might know that there's something wrong. There's all different variations. So in this video today, I'm going to be discussing, do narcissists really know that they are narcissists? Hello everyone and welcome back. I hope that you're all doing really well. So let's talk today about, does a narcissist know that they are a narcissist? It's a good question. It'd be great if they did and they can do something about it. Well, no, it's not as simple as that. The thing is, narcissists are manipulative and deceitful, and their behavior is all about intentional lying. But do they really have a clue about what they are doing? Or are they just delusional? Because look, you know what, to be honest with you, when you talk about personality disorders, when you talk about Axis 1 disorders, delusion goes hand in hand with these types of disorders. So there is a possibility. I mean, if we're talking about someone who has narcissistic traits, do they know? I would say yes, they know. But you've got to remember that these people are not self-actualized. So how much do they actually know? But the one fact that I can tell you is that they don't care. They don't care how it makes you feel. But do they actually know? Do they have any idea of how it is making you feel? So today we're going to be tackling a complex topic. Are narcissists lying, or are they just simply delusional? And understanding the nature of narcissistic deception can help you navigate these challenging relationships and interactions with the narcissist. So with the video, I just want to unpack it and help you to kind of understand the difference between lying and delusion and which one the narcissist actually fits into. Just wanted to let you know that I do go live on this channel on a Tuesday at 9 p.m. UK time. If you have any questions or there's something on your mind, I'd say come on over, because I could be answering your question. We could be delving in to really interesting topics. I would say check out the community tab, because I do post on there when I'm going live and what topics I will be discussing, or we will be discussing on the live stream. I'd love to see you there, guys. Come on over. Narcissists are deceitful and they're really manipulative. And the first thing that they actually do is they lie all the time. So there's a difference between lying and pathological lying. Pathological lying means that basically the lies that you're telling, right, they're going to have disastrous consequences, or they're going to have some sort of consequence over somebody else's life by telling this lie. For example, if I'm going to say to you that the price of my shoes was $50 when they actually were $150, I mean, that's not really going to impact your life in some way, is it? But I completely understand it's a lie. I've just shaved off $100 off the price of it, right? But if I'm telling you that, no, I'm not sleeping with anybody, when in fact I am, that is going to have an impact on somebody's life or a couple of people's lives. Can you see the velocity of the situation here? Like, the two don't really go hand in hand. They're both lies. So the pathological lie is something where these types of lies are told over and over, and together they can amount to having such a disastrous effect on somebody, but added to the fact that that person doesn't actually care. So let's explore the nuances of narcissistic behavior to better understand their actions. The first thing we have to do is understand the nature of narcissism. And narcissism is a debilitating personality disorder. Now, if you're diagnosed with a personality disorder, it's quite a debilitating mental health condition. All right. And even though it's quite hard or quite rare that people do get diagnosed with narcissism, because like if you think about it, personality disorder, the thing is we've all got a personality, but what makes it disordered? That is the issue here. And that's why a lot of psychiatrists find it very difficult to be able to diagnose people with that. It's usually comorbid with others. Like, for example, bipolar has strong comorbidity with narcissism. Other personality disorders like borderline personality disorder, or perhaps maybe emotionally unstable personality disorder, these two are very heavily linked with narcissism. Psychopathy, sociopath, you see, that also has connotations with narcissism. But these are the ones, the dark triad, these are the ones that are less diagnosed, because it's really hard to be able to characterize which ones they are. And if you look at the DSM, a lot of it is just an inflated sense of self. But what does that mean? How does that look like in life? There's more to it. These traits manifest in both deliberate lies and in delusional thinking. Because again, this person doesn't live in reality. They live in this illusion. The illusion is created by the facade, the mirroring, the love bombing. They're pretending to be somebody else, to have something else, for you to not see their real selves. It's all just a dysfunctional ego, a deflection, defense mechanisms, because they don't like who they are. And so they don't have any empathy because they don't feel any empathy for themselves. So that is the true nature of narcissism. Next, we come on to intentional lying. Now, why you're going to ask yourself, why would somebody intentionally lie? But ultimately, for a narcissist, this is about control. This is about manipulation. This is about to trap you in a relationship, to stop you from finding out the truth. This isn't nothing more than that. This is about fabricating stories to gain sympathy, distorting the truth, to make themselves look better, exaggerating achievements. They just want you to make you feel some type of way, but ultimately they want to keep you trapped in some sort of dynamic with them. They don't want you to go. They want you to think the world of them, because nobody ever has. And they feel that if you're in a relationship, that's how it's supposed to be. You see, narcissists are skilled at reading people. I'm not going to beat around the bush. They're really good at what they do. They tailor their lies to exploit those people's vulnerabilities. And this intentional tool of deceit that they use is to help them to maintain power over that person. Because if you believe a certain facade of that person, then you're less likely to leave, go. They want to keep you trapped. And also distorting the truth makes them look good, that makes them feel good. So again, you're more likely to trust them, you're less likely to leave. And you're thinking, well, why do they not want you to leave? Because you give them validation. You give them the supply, the thing that they are looking for. And this is where we lead on to delusional thinking. In most cases, narcissists believe in their own exaggerated self-image. This delusional thinking stems from a deep-seated need to protect their fragile self-esteem. Again, they don't want anyone to know the real them. They don't want them to see the real them, because they know that it's so damaged. They know that it's so wrong, yet they still do it. It makes them feel good. It makes them feel really good. They construct this strange ulterior reality where they are superior, deserving special treatment, and always right. You can't argue with them. They're always the best. And you've got to understand that these delusions are so ingrained in the narcissist. This is where this stems from childhood. Like, they've had to create this defense mechanism because they realize that who they are not being accepted as who they are. So they had to create this illusion. They had to create this different person, because that is when they feel accepted. Their parents didn't want them or didn't like them the way that they are, because their parents probably were narcissistic, really controlling, or one of their parents, or both. And they picked up on these traits that if they are pretending to be somebody that they're not, then that person is going to like them. Think about it, when they're mirroring you, when they're love bombing you, when the narcissist thinks when you give that person all the kindness, all the good stuff, that person's going to like you. And when that person likes you, they trust you. So when they trust you, you're then able to control them. You become malleable to be able to be manipulated. And that's the only way that the narcissist can keep you around, is if you believe in this manipulation of this false self. So this is the delusional thinking. They don't see people's emotions, social cues the same way that you do. They don't interpret reality the same way you do. And again, for the narcissist, this has been a defense mechanism. Is it right? Do you excuse it? No, of course it's not right. And no, you can't excuse it. How can you live like that? You can't live alongside someone like that. What the narcissist is doing is they're expressing this reality that they have created in their mind. And the longer that you are with them, you kind of participate in this ulterior reality that the narcissist is showing you. And that leads me on to the next thing, the blurred line between lies and delusions. And there is a blurred line between delusional thinking and lies. A narcissist might start off with a deliberate lie and then they repeat it. And they repeat it. And you know what? That narcissist then starts to believe that lie to be the truth. That's delusion, because it's not true. And what happens is this self-deception reinforces their grandiose self-image, which helps them to avoid facing uncomfortable truths about themselves. So they're constantly deflecting, constantly getting away from who they really are. They're embarrassed of themselves. That's why they feel so much shame. And they're constantly trying to create this illusion. It's not true. And that's where it creates this toxic environment where you don't know the reality, nor are you allowed to see the reality. And I think in psychology, what we call it is called magical thinking. It's just comorbid with a lot of mental health conditions, creating this ulterior reality for yourself because living in reality is too painful. And that's why they lie. That's why they are delusional, because living in reality is too painful for them. Imagine them going into therapy and really doing the work. It would destroy them. To really be honest, it would destroy them. And that's why they believe in these false narratives. And it's really sad. But that's how they have learnt to be. And this is all a product of their childhood. And you see, this mix of delusional thinking and lies makes it really hard to be able to trust a narcissist, to be able to really know what is truth and what is lies. And I think, like for a lot of us, and I hear this a lot in my client work, where this is where we have this cognitive dissonance at the end of like every one of these toxic relationships, because we're trying to think, well, hold on a minute, what was lies? What was the truth? What actually did happen? What didn't happen? And the thing is, you can drive yourself absolutely loopy trying to understand and trying to discern what was truth, what's not, because you don't know. And I would encourage you not to do that, because you're never going to know the real truth. Actually, the narcissist doesn't know what the real truth is. So this is about protecting your own well-being. And how does this have impact on relationships? I think the main big factor here is the trust. How can you trust someone? Whether the narcissist is delusional or it's just lying, this is going to have an impact on your relationship with them. It's going to be a profound impact. The deceits, the intentional or not, this erodes any trust. And I think ultimately it's the deceit, it's the betrayal. Just tell me the truth, but they can't tell you the truth because they are so far removed from what the truth actually is. And that is the problem. It erodes your trust and creates a toxic environment. It makes you feel really sad. It makes you feel unable to trust them. And it hurts. It's so challenging. And the thing is, relationships are not meant to be hurtful. They're not meant to be painful and challenging. They're meant to make you feel good and uplift you. Yes, they are all the time. All the time it's meant to feel like that. I think that understanding the nature of narcissism and their ego and understanding why they do this can help you to navigate your interactions with the narcissist. But it doesn't make for a profound or a long-term relationship. This is really hard to be able to navigate, to actually move through something like this. Ultimately, it will break your heart. It really will. And a lot of the times, you will take it personally, because how can you not? You can't grow in a relationship like this. It's so challenging. It's so difficult. But that's where you have to protect your own well-being. You have to put yourself first. Toxic relationships don't work. They don't work for a reason, because they're toxic. One person is not willing to put in the energy, the effort of what really is needed to make a relationship like this work. And that is a level of acceptance that you have to kind of understand, that this person doesn't want to make this relationship work. They can't. They don't know how to. Whether it's delusional thinking or lying, whether they mean to or not, how can you stay with someone like that? So strategies for coping. You need to be able to seek support. You need to put boundaries in place. You need to educate yourself about narcissism and really consider therapy, and to help you to develop healthy coping strategies and in being able to understand this and be able to move forward from this. Remember, you cannot change a narcissist. You cannot change a person. It cannot happen, because that person want to be willing to make that change. And if they're not self-actualized, if they don't know, then how can they? You have to protect yourself from these harmful behaviors. What you have to remember is whether a narcissist is lying or delusion. Understanding the behavior can help you navigate these challenging relationships. Trust your instincts always. Set firm boundaries. Seek support. And if you have found this video helpful, please do give it a thumbs up and share it to those who it might benefit. And don't forget to subscribe for more insights on mental health, relationships, and personal growth. Please know that I do offer one-to-one consultations. Please see the description box below. And you know what? I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.